Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Here I talk about my inner journey, a magical, messy journey that started around 5 years ago. And I don't know when it's gonna end or if it's ever gonna end. So today I wanna talk about this voice inside my head who was criticizing, blaming, and judging me for every second of every day of my life. Before doing anything, while doing anything, and after doing anything. It was non-stop, 24/7. I used to wake up to this voice and I used to go to sleep with this voice. It was harsh, with zero compassion, always telling me that I'm not lovable. I'm taking up too much space. I'm bothering everyone and I'm ruining everything. So I always tried my best to be invisible, to take as less space as possible, talk as less as possible, have no needs, no requests. I was a hyper vigilant, always reading everyone's faces and moods so I can make my existence as small and quiet as possible. I lived my life like that for 30 years. In my personal experience, when we're talking about inner work, the first and most important part towards healing is becoming aware. My therapist helped me to become aware of this inner voice, to see that it is a part of me, a coping mechanism so solid and strong, I wasn't able to separate it from myself my entire life. So we went on for weeks and months, just being aware of this inner voice and recognizing where and how it's affecting my view of myself and the experience I'm going through. After a couple of months, I became really good at recognizing her. Because every time it used a different kind of language and it was also projecting itself on other people. So I used to hear other people through the filter of my own inner voice. At first, I hated my inner voice. It was ruining my life, and it had ruined my life for almost 30 years. But the second part of healing started happening for me. And it was to give love and compassion to this part of me. So I had this caregiver, my main caregiver, who was, always on edge, unpredictable, always yelling and screaming with no compassion, physically and emotionally abusing and neglecting most of my existence. So I didn't force myself to give love and compassion to this part because it happened naturally when I understood with all of my heart that at some point in my life, it helped me survive. I believe that I developed this inner voice to keep me from doing or saying anything to cause real harm from someone my survival was based on. So it was doing its job, and it was time to thank her and let her know that I am safe now, that I can talk, I can take up space, and I am surrounded with people who love me and care about me. While all of these were going on, my therapist and I were also working on third part of my healing, which was to consistently remind me that I am worthy, I am enough, I have needs, I have the right to make mistakes, and I'm always growing and learning. Making the solid inner belief system in my inner world turning into a warm, supportive voice, you know, to always remind me of who I am and what I am capable of. Through time, my inner voice started softening. It still exists. It just uses a different language, and I'm really good at recognizing her. And whenever it feels like she's going too far, taking over, my warm, supportive inner voice starts, speaking up and reminds me of whatever I need to hear. Um, this whole thing was a really long process, but it was worth all the love that we put in. This is my personal experience, and I believe that everyone's experience and journey towards self love and self acceptance is unique. But my wish here with sharing my journey is to remind you that all you need is enough love and compassion to look at yourself and all of your inner parts with, to see that you are already worthy and you are already enough. I'm so excited that I'm out here telling my story, and I'm so happy that you are listening to my story. Thank you so much for being here.